girls. It's time for another story. So get ready. Here he comes, your neighbor, the Kidmunicator.
Once upon a time, but not too long ago, in the evergreen forest, not long after snow, 2 cypress trees stood there in Forestry Center, and they were happy because it was a very short winter. All around them were critters with animal features, and the 4 winds could speak to those forestry creatures. And they would swoop through the evergreen trees in a swirl and tell stories about folks from all over the world. This particular season, everyone was delighted because winter was short, and that makes trees excited. In a forest, short winters mean only one thing. There's the early return of the season of spring. And when spring returns early, well, that means bigger blossoms all over the forest. Now, every tree's got them. But inside those large blossoms, what every tree needs, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seeds. Each seed representing some person on earth, a woman or man of unusual birth. Each seed has a purpose, just like each boy and girl. And it makes all the difference to all in the world. It's your neighbor, the Kidmunicator, and I'm keeping the fun in what's fundamental, which means we're telling kids what they need to hear, but in ways that they like to hear it. I've recently completed a concept on a story that I know a lot of children would be very excited to see as a full-scale media production. It's the story of a little seed named Splinter. Now, Splinter is an inexperienced little seed, so he's always asking Mama Cypress Tree, "Mama, what am I going to be when I grow up?" And Mama Cypress Tree, well, she's a lot like the loving and nurturing heart of our Heavenly Father. So she responds by saying something like, "Maybe you'll be a table or a chair or a house." These are all special things we could not do without. Then there's the Papa Cypress Tree, a firm grip and steady hand kind of guy. So he says something like, "You keep a clean bark and you keep your trunk straight. Whatever you'll be, well, we'll just have to wait." So the little seed story flows with a rhyming cadence and yet is presented through allegory and parabolic symbolism. So imagine a collaboration between John Bunyan, C.S. Lewis, and Dr. Seuss. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little, but I know I had fun writing it and a great time with children performing it. One of my motivations in producing this concept was to bring help, healing, and hope to so many children of all ages in the world. In fact, these are children who, like myself, have been personally injured by the hands of molestation, abuse, or neglect. In my case, it was molestation. At 4 years old, I experienced that scenario with actually a neighbor, and I guess she was a teenager. Everybody's an adult when you're a child. But it stuck with me my whole life, and it made a big difference. But at this stage, with this story, and with the hope that it could bring, I wouldn't change a thing. I think sometimes life will give you that sour lemon, and it's up to you to make the lemonade. So the little seed is the lemonade, and that's why we subtitled The Little Seed, A Story on Finding Your Place in the World. So that's my story, and it's kind of similar to the little seed story because, in the end, he doesn't become a table or a chair or a house, but he does become something we can't live without. That little seed becomes the tree that becomes the wood that becomes the cross. The little seed does finally grow up and make a difference to all in the world. And we're hoping you do the same by making the little seed a reality for children all over the world. Thank you very much. It's your neighbor, the Kidmunicator, and I'm keeping the fun in what's fundamental. That means I'm telling kids what they need to hear, but in ways that they like to hear it.